Hi, I'm Michaela and I'll be your yoga teacher for today. I'm also a mom of 3 children, so if you hear random bumps, falls, shrieks, screams, fighting in the background, don't be alarmed, it's just my family. So to begin, we'll just start seated. You can cross your legs, root your 2 sitting bones into the earth, and place your palms on top of your thighs and just close off the eyes first. And just take 1 deep cleansing breath. So inhale completely, fill up the belly, fill up the chest, and exhale, sigh it out. That felt good. Let's do another one. And now that you've arrived on your mat, you can open up your eyes. Turn your palms towards the sky and inhale, rise the arms. And exhale, press the air away. And following your own breath, just inhale, arms lift. And exhale, press the air away. Inhale. And exhale. Reach your right hand down. Inhale your left arm up and over for a little side body stretch. And exhale. Left hand on the mat. Right arm comes up and over. And exhale. Roll onto your hands and knees in tabletop position. So our wrists will be underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips with a neutral spine. And just kind of tuck your chin into chest and feel your spine elongate. We want to create a long line of energy from our crown of our head to our tailbone. So when we bend the spine, we disturb that long line of energy. So keep this in mind while you're in your poses to see if you can keep everything in alignment. So drop the belly and lift the chest, lift the head, lift the gaze, and inhale. Exhale, round the spine, press up through the hands. Cinch your belly up towards your spine as you exhale. Inhale. Rolling through each vertebra, heart lifts, inhale. And exhale, round. Again, pressing into the mat, navel into spine. As you exhale, feeling your abdominals crunch and expel the air out. And just following your own breath, roll through each pose. We have and exhale. They're called different names, sometimes up cat and round, down cat. Or we have cow pose. Just kind of depends on the teacher. And flow back to a neutral spine and extend your right leg out behind you. Root your toes into the mat and press all your weight out through your back heel. We still have our wrists underneath our shoulders. And just feel your leg engage, your quads engage, kneecaps lifted. Your glute is awake. And feel your abs tighten right at your belt line. Inhale, begin to lift through your back right leg, right at the heel. Square off the hips, so your 2 hip bones are facing down towards the mat. And when you feel stable, lift your left hand out in front. This is known as bird dog. You can stay here, and just staying in this static hold is difficult enough. Our toes are flexed, our ankles flexed, toes are pointing at the earth. Abs are flexed, holding the hips stable and the core stable. Or if you want to take it into a little movement, you on an exhale, bring your elbow and knee together. Inhale, reaching out and back. Reaching behind you with your foot and forward with your hand once more. And exhale, lower. Straighten your left leg out behind you, pressing through your toes and out your back heel. Just feel your leg firming up, root through those toes, ground into the left hand, the right knee. Lift your left leg up behind you, flex through the ankles so the toes are pointing at the earth. Square off the hips. When you feel ready, reach out with your right hand. See if you can keep your arm in line right with your shoulder. Your leg right in line with your hip. We don't want to drop our hip off or turn our foot out or in. So maybe check back and see. When it feels good, and if you'd like to take it into some movement, elbow and knee together in our middle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, crunch it in. Exhale. Inhaling, straighten once more. Lifting up just a touch. Exhale, lower. You can sit the seat back to your heels. Reaching with your fingertips. Maybe coming up on tented fingers. And lower the forehead to the mat. Just a little stretch. A little break. Catch your breath. Small movements, but it still takes a lot of strength to stay in the pose. Curl your toes underneath you. Roll through one cat and cow. So cow, inhale, and exhale round. Inhale, come to flat back. Curl your toes underneath you. And with super bent knees, slowly straighten the legs and tilt your sits bones up to the sky. We're on our tippy toes. And just stay in this down dog shape with bent knees for a time. Slowly straighten your right leg or left leg. Bend into one knee and then the other and just switch them up. Take it into a little bit of a jog. With your heels released to the earth, just inhale, roll forward into a plank pose. Lift the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. And set ourselves up for Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. So our feet are shoulder width apart, hip width apart, I guess. Our hands are shoulder width apart. Or maybe even a little bit wider. If we rock forward onto our hands just slightly, can we lift our fingertips off the mat, maybe bend into the elbows, widen our hands as far as our fingers can go, and slowly lower them back down on the mat, pressing our weight through our first finger and our thumb. Lift your hips up and back, heels down to the mat, and focus on where our first finger and our thumb meet, and press here into the mat. All 10 fingers are on the mat. Our hands are like suction cups. You can feel your fingertips gripping the mat. Inhale, rock forward. Plank, we're on our tippy toes. Exhale, bend the elbows and slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Release your toenails. Bring your hands in front of you, elbows underneath the shoulders for Sphinx pose. Now we can lift the chest here, we can just sit here on our elbows and kind of relax. Or we can take the opportunity to engage some other muscles. So with our hands underneath our shoulders here, press your toenails and the tops of your feet into the mat and lift our kneecaps up off the floor. Engage your belly. So as if you could imagine pulling your panty line closer to your ribs, just through engaging your abs. Press your hands into the mat, and as if you could pull yourself forward, grip the mat with your hands, and just grip yourself, pull yourself forward just ever so slightly, and engage your hands and your forearms into the mat. And then lift the chest. And the pose becomes a lot more difficult, doesn't it? And just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Take one more inhale. And exhale, release, and slowly lower yourself to the mat. Press your hands and your chest up and set your seat to your heels for child's pose. You can bring your forehead to the mat, or you can grasp your hands around your feet. Close off the circuitry, helps to calm the mind. So you decide for yourself which one is best for you. From your child's pose, walk your hands out in front if they aren't already. And press yourself up into tabletop position. Arrange so our knees are underneath our hips. Our hands are underneath our shoulders. Curl your toes underneath you and send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs. Take a deep breath and exhale. Inhale your right leg up and back. Yawn the hips open. You can let the leg maybe fall out behind you, stack the hips, if that feels good. Inhale, straighten your leg, and exhale, rock forward on your toes and curl knee to nose, tiger curl. As you exhale, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, cross it over, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, up and back. And exhale, right knee to right elbow. Hover. Inhale, right leg up and back. And exhale, step your right foot next to your right thumb. Walk your toes forward and settle your left knee to the ground for low lunge. You can use some blocks on either side of your hips for your hands. And maybe just sit here, sway into your left hip, send some breath there. Maybe it feels better to drop your right hand down, left arm up and over. Helps reach into the side body a little bit and the psoas. Wherever you are, if you don't have blocks, you can use stacks of books, but they can be really handy in this next pose. Begin to straighten through your front leg and send your hips back. Straighten your front leg. Flex through the front right ankle. And either using your blocks or your hands on either side of your hips. Lift the chest, elongate the spine. And exhale, begin to fold over your front leg. Ardha Hanumanasana. And if you have flexibility in your hamstrings, you can always bring your hands down to the mat on tented fingers and just slowly walk your hands forward. Plug your right hip back. Ground your heel into the mat. Flex through the quadricep to protect the knee joint. And watch for any hyperextension if you're overly flexible like I am. Inhale, walk the hands forward, shift the hips forward, take a low lunge. And maybe you need to readjust. Maybe that means your knee comes forward, you regrip the toes. Take time to adjust. And on an exhale, straighten the leg, flex through the hip, plug the right hip back. We want square hips to the front of our mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, rock forward. Bring the sole of the foot to the ground. Hands on the inside of your right foot and heel toe your right foot out so your toes are off the mat, your heel's on the mat. Release your back left toes. We're in lizard pose. And if it feels good for you, if you have the flexibility in your hips, then you can come down to your elbows. I'm actually not quite open yet. Not on this side, so I'm gonna stay up on my hands. Oftentimes I like to come down onto my elbows and use a block and place it on my forehead. That's one of my favorite things to do. But today's body says not today, so we will respect that. This way into the hip, take a deep breath. And exhale through the mouth. Great. Plant your hands into the mat, curl up on your back left toes, and swing your right foot out, back behind you. We're in plank pose. And make sure your hands are a little bit wider than your shoulders, otherwise it'll be a little bit difficult to come forward into a chaturanga and down on your mat. You'll get stuck, you won't have enough room. So make sure your hands are wide enough, roll forward on your toes, firm upper abs, press the hands into the mat, press through your shoulder blades, maybe round a little bit into the upper back. Exhale, bend the elbows, keeping them alongside the ribs, slowly lower all the way down. You can either drop all the way down to the mat, release the toes, and inhale into a cobra pose, or you can take an upward facing dog. Exhale. Curl your toes underneath you and either coming through tabletop position to down dog, or you can press all the way through a push-up, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Our first vinyasa. Inhale your left leg up and back. Yawn the hips open, maybe bend the knees, stack the hips. Let your foot fall behind. Take a deep breath into your left hip. And exhale. Inhale, straighten the leg. And exhale, bring knee to nose. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, cross it over, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger curl, and step your left foot down next to your left thumb. Use your toes to walk them forward. Drop your back knee down, low lunge. You can pause here, use some blocks. Firm up your low abs. Take them off your thigh. Maybe drop the left hand over, right hand up. Side body stretch. It's a beautiful sunny day today. Wow. The light's probably going to be really funny on this video though because it's cloudy. So the light keeps getting dimmer and then super sunny. It's kind of funny, but I like it. Drop your hands down. Shift the hips back, straighten your front leg, and flex through the toes. For Ardha Hanumanasana, plug that left hip back. Watch for any hyperextension, and exhale. Lean forward into the hamstring stretch. Either coming up on tented fingers or using blocks. Just respect where your body is today and your range of motion in today's body. We're looking for sensation, not pain. Pain means back off, it's too much. And most of us ignore that. And I encourage you to listen to what your body and your muscles are telling you. Inhale, lift the chest. Lean the hips forward, take a low lunge. Exhale, shift the hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, rock forward, low lunge. Place the hands on the inside of your left foot and heel toe your left foot out. Bending this way and that, swaying into the hips. Maybe coming down on the elbows. Yeah, see I'm much more open on this side. So now I can show you what I meant. So I like to take a block. Just place it on my third eye. And just breathe a few breaths. And wherever you are in your lizard pose, hands on the inside of your left foot, come up onto the toes of your back right foot, and send your left foot back to meet your right. We're in plank pose. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, we'll all lower all the way down. Release the toes, all 10 toenails on the ground. Good. We're coming back into our Sphinx pose. So bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, forearms on the mat, and all 10 toenails are on the mat as well. We're going to lift our pelvis up by planting the tops of our feet into the mat. And we're going to gaze down at our feet. And that's going to work our core and our torso. So hands are gripping the mat. Tops of our toes are going to press into the mat. Inhale, look back at our feet. Hold. And exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Gaze forward. Inhale. Look back at our feet. And exhale, lower the pelvis to the ground. Gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale, lower. We'll take 3 more on your own. 1, 2, 3. And release. You can lower your chest down. Take a little break. Hands underneath the shoulders, curl your toes underneath you, and press yourself up either through push-up position or tabletop, and come to your downward facing dog. Bending through one leg, and then the other. Inhale. Exhale. Brilliant. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, cross it over, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Once more, inhale, up and back. Exhale, curl your knee into nose and set your right foot down next to your right thumb. Popping up on your back left toes. Press yourself up into a high lunge. Either hands on the waist, or hands can be raised up in front alongside the ears. Watch that your knee doesn't fall inwards. We want to keep it in line. We want to be able to see our big toe. Inhale. Exhale, knit the ribs in. Turning our palms facing out. Press them around behind you to clasp each other in the back. Roll your shoulder blades down and back and straighten the elbows. Inhale. Exhale. We want to heel toe our front foot out just a little bit to get a little bit more strength and stability here, because we're going to be bringing ourselves into a bit of a moving vinyasa. Inhale, elongate the spine, and exhale, lunge. Lunge over. Maybe let your hands fall out behind you. Humble warrior. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lunge forward. Inhale, rise, and exhale. Inhale, press yourself all the way up, release the arms. Exhale, open them up to the side, heel your toe, your foot back in, find heel to arch alignment, and lunge into the front knee for warrior two. Just for a moment. Inhale. Whew. Exhale. Bring the hands to your hips, straighten through the front leg, heel toe your back foot in, shorten your stance. Right hand out. Exhale, right hand down to the earth or to your ankle. We're going to come into triangle pose. Roll through your upper back to curve into your upper back. And inhale, rotate the chest to the ceiling. Left hand to the sky, triangle pose. You can look down at your hand, or your right hand at the floor, or your left hand up at the sky, whatever's easiest on the neck. Option to always take a block. Inhale. Exhale, bend through into the front knee and place your hand on the mat, or maybe to your knee for side angle pose. Exhale your left hand down to the mat. Hands frame the front foot, roll onto the ball of your back left foot. Send your right foot back to meet your left. Plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, take an up dog or cobra. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, cross it over. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Hover it there for a moment, hug it in. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, slowly step it down, left foot next to left thumb. Pop up under the back toes and press yourself up into high lunge. Taking care that our knee doesn't fall inwards. And maybe taking a wider stance now, just in anticipation for our moving vinyasa after. Keep the hands on the hips if you like. Inhale them up. Press like crazy through that back heel. And bend into the front knee. Inhale. Reach with the fingertips. And exhale. Clasp them behind you. See if you can take an opposite clasp from last time. Roll your shoulder blades down and back. And if you can't touch your hands, if you can't reach and clasp your hands, then just grab onto your shirt. Inhale and exhale, lunge forward, humble warrior. Inhale. If you haven't already, I should mention heel toe your foot out. Give yourself some room. And on an exhale, we'll test our balance and lunge forward into humble warrior. Woo! Speaking of which, inhale. Follow the breath. Inhale on your way up. I'm really struggling with my balance on this side. You can obviously see which side's stronger, yeah? And rising up into our high lunge. Release the arms, stretch the hands up high above. And exhale, open it up to warrior two. Maybe straighten through your front leg if it's tired. Bend into the front knee. Your back foot's parallel to the back of the mat. So our knife edge of our foot is straight. It's as if we were pressing all of our weight through that back knife edge of our foot. Bend into the front knee. Arms are straight out. Look down your middle finger. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale, hands to your hips, straight through your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in. Left hand out. And exhale, left hand down to the mat or to a block. I like to put my right hand down and just kind of let it hang. Feel that upper body sort of curling, C-curving. It's kind of feel like a bit like a rag doll. And then inhale, open your chest to ceiling, rotate the ribs up to the sky. Right hand up. And you can always take your right hand and just put it on your hip. Exhale, bend into the front knee. Left hand either on the floor or up on a block. See if you can create a long line of energy from your top hand to your crown of your head, to your tailbone, to your back foot. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your right hand on the mat, frame your front foot, roll onto the ball of your back foot, step your left foot back, plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Or come through upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Exhale. From your down dog position, lower your knees to the mat. Cross your ankles behind you and set your hips back. Release the feet and the legs up in front of you. Give them a little wiggle. With your feet flexed, your sits bones rooted into the mat. Inhale your arms up. Anchor in the ribs. And exhale, fold forward, reaching for your toes, keeping the spine long and straight. And if you reach your toes, that's great. If they're here, that's fine. If your knees are up here, that's okay too. Like I said, we're looking for sensation, not pain. And it's about finding your stretch in your body. Inhale, walk yourself up. We'll take a quick little Baddha Konasana. So the soles of your feet together. Bring your heels in towards your groin. Again, I'll turn sideways. This is a really good opportunity to use blocks as well. By placing them under the knees, Because I have really open hips. Not everybody has really open hips, right? Some people's legs are up here. So you can use, that's why the blocks are so handy, because we have different sizes for everybody and can accommodate different poses so well by using the different sides of the block. So pick your poison, wherever you'd like to be. Grasp your feet with your hands. I'll get this thing down one day. Maybe close off the eyes. Walk forward. And just take a little breath into the hips. Walk yourself up. Brilliant. Toss your bricks off to the side and let the legs go. Out in front of you, actually before we do that, we'll keep our knees bent, feet pressing into the mat, hands facing the ceiling, and just slowly begin to lower and hinge back as slowly as you can before you're releasing onto the mat. Hug your knees into your chest, give a little squeeze, and drop them over to the left. Right arm, you can take cactus arm on the right hand side, left hand side, or reach out with your right hand. Just a little supine twist. And this pose is really useful before going to bed, or anytime you're feeling anxious too, or scared, because it helps to calm the nervous system and bring it back into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is that rest and digest. And using your hands, guide your knees up and exhale them over to the right hand side. Take cactus arms again, straighten your left arm out. Use your hands to guide your knees up. Hug your knees into chest. And exhale. Let the legs go. And let the feet fall to the side. And grab a blanket or anything that you need to be comfortable. Place the left hand on the heart and the right hand on the belly. Close off the eyes if they aren't already. Shavasana. Thank you so much for doing this video with me. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking this time to do this practice. Don't forget to hit the like button, tag a friend if you think that they would enjoy this as well. And from my heart to yours, namaste.